we're back. The pubs are back open, and I think I speak for all of us when I say about bloody time. Welcome back to the Midweek Remedy with me, James Thacker. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I hope the weather is good where you are. I know that there have been many reports of snow mid-April, and there's snow in the UK. What is going on? But actually, as I just finished up in the gym, recording this on a Monday, I came out and it was beautiful sunshine, and I know that everyone in a beer garden would have been having an absolutely wonderful time. I know people have actually taken days off, which, if there's any indication as to the commitment of the UK to drinking culture, is taking a day off when the pub's open. Absolutely outstanding. Actually, do you know what? That is not even the biggest testament. It's queuing up at midnight on Sunday to have a pint in the pub. Oh, I love British people so very, very much. So yes, I did sense a general lift in mood this week over the last few days when people just sense that things are getting a bit back to normal. Even, coming out of the gym and seeing a lot of the ladies that were doing the circuits together at the end of their session all having a chat and catching up and seeing how they are and having a little bit of a, I don't know, just back to reality. It's another step back to reality, isn't it? So really lovely to see. And I'm loving the fact that gyms are back open. I now get to try and resurrect my legs from months of just neglect from having not done it. They're probably looking the leanest they ever have, and obviously as a rugby player that's not that great, but at least I'm not carrying too much extra timber these days. Maybe that's a ever so slight silver lining, but much work to be done in that department. But I hope you all enjoy yourselves, get out there, enjoy yourselves responsibly. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, if you're abroad, the COVID rules as of April the 12th have now eased, which means that people can now meet outside and go to pubs and restaurants for food and drink. The reason that we're able to do that is that they're seated at a table outside, so everything's out in the air, so hopefully the transmission won't be as effective. So, everyone's keeping pretty spread. I mean, to be honest, it does feel like it's pretty much ready to go back to normal. I'm not a scientist. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I feel like I haven't heard anything about infection rates and death rates going up at all. It all seems to be on the in the right trajectory, which is downwards. Definitely wouldn't suggest that we're ready to travel abroad yet, but it does seem like things are getting back to normal. I mean, I'm playing rugby at the moment, and it's pretty much, without it being full contact, there are still elements where we are in contact with a lot of other people in rugby games, and it feels like we're about ready to go back to normal now. I just can't wait for June, I think it is, when we're all ready to go back to normal. But there you go, one more step towards normality. In other news, one of the other things that I wanted to come on and talk about this week was how I just at the moment feel like I'm completely falling out of love with football. This comes as after a rubbish Spurs performance again yesterday against Man United. We lost 3-1 after being 1-0 up. It comes a week after being, I think we were 2-0 up against Newcastle, and then we ended up drawing 2-2 against one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, that's not the only reason why I'm not enjoying sport at the moment, but it doesn't help that Spurs are just so terrible. It's depressing. What a bloody fall from grace. I mean, was it even grace in the first place? We haven't won anything since 2008. Anyway, but one of the things that I'm seeing consistently in sport now, and it's not just in football to be fair, but it's incredibly prevalent, is just lazy officiating. I'm seeing so much of it now where, because we've got these video assistant referees now, referees are now refraining from making any difficult live decisions on the pitch. And so Man United actually scored yesterday first, and they had it pulled back from something that happened about 30 seconds, I think, before the goal went in. And I think their player McTominay kind of in a natural motion put his hand behind him and kind of flicked Son in the face. And I do love Son as a player and as a human. He just seems like a bundle of positivity. So it's very hard to dislike him. But in this case, he's absolutely sold the referee on how much impact that McTominay made on his face. And he's gone down for a solid 4 minutes whilst they're checking this review, and that then the referee gets it in his ear after the goal scored, after the celebration, that he needs to go and have a look at this incident. And then even after watching it on the video, he comes back and it was really tenuous as to whether that should have been a foul. Personally, I don't think it should have been. It obviously worked for Spurs, so I'd take it at the time. But in hindsight, you're just thinking, really, is this what sport is coming to in general? Where we're getting people feigning injury, we're getting bad officiating, we're getting players rolling around and screaming and pressurising the referees to make a decision. I don't. When you're growing up, it's completely against everything that you were taught. Play to the whistle, play with fair play. Don't go down and dive. If you take a tumble, then if you really hurt, then obviously you can't help it. But you're going to roll around and hold your ankle or whatever. But get on with it. It really is annoying to see. And I know that this is happening in all facets of the game. I don't know whether there'd be as much patience for this kind of poor refereeing and just nonsense if a lot of fans were back in the stadium. So I'll be interested to see how that actually continues when you've got up to 70,000 fans booing and shouting and getting in the referee's ear and about specific decisions. I'm sure there has to be an element of pressure. If they're feeling pressure at the moment with just some footballers on the pitch, then when fans are back in the stadium, that's going to be a whole nother load of pressure. So they need to fix something, because I am rapidly falling out of love with football. And that sucks to say, because it's something that I've absolutely adored my whole life. And to think, now we're getting to a point where, I've spoken to a lot of people about this. I've listened to other podcasts. There's one podcast I listened to called The Hope That Kills You. Ben Calder and Ollie Garcia. They talk about how football was losing its appeal slightly now, because it just feels like it's not the proper game, and you can't feel like you feel like you can't celebrate when your team scored a goal out of fear that it might be pulled back for something that happened 2 minutes ago. It's just absolute craziness. So I hope that they can correct the mistakes that they've made and bring our game back. But it's not the only sport. It's happening in rugby as well. I'm watching some of the Super Rugby stuff, and as much as Super Rugby is unbelievably entertaining to watch, like really, really good rugby, there are occasions where, well, actually, do you know what? I think it's every single try is being checked on the big screen, and the referee doesn't even have the confidence to just call the try as he sees it. And I'm thinking, come on, let's just get on with it. It's so frustrating when things have to be pulled back, because then you lose the emotion out of the game. And something I mentioned on one of my earlier podcasts, in that it's not just a game. It's not just a game because we invest so much of our lives into sport emotionally. And once you take the emotion out of sport, then, what is it? It's just, I don't know, it loses its appeal for me. But rugby, I don't think is in a bad, as a bad place compared to football. And that's why I've been watching more rugby recently. It's just been really entertaining. And actually, I say Super Rugby is the most entertaining in it. And in my opinion, it is. But the Premiership has also been fantastic. So I definitely need to watch more Premiership and Heineken, what's it called, Champions Cup. But anyway, there's my little rant. I'm sure some of you agree with what I'm saying. If you do, and I'm really interested to hear your opinions on this and how you think sport is being affected. If it's not for you, it's not for you, obviously. But really be interested to, if you are listening to this, pop in the Instagram when I post the episode release up on Instagram. I'd be really interested to see you and hear from you and see your opinions, because I think it's something that's widely felt. And let me know if you think VAR is a good idea. If you think it needs tweaking, why does it need tweaking? It'd be good to really understand your opinion on that, because I'm genuinely interested. Also, in other news, I've done about 2 weeks of vegetarianism, which I don't really want to bang out on about too much, but it's something that could be potentially of interest. And I'm feeling really good. I feel a lot lighter. One of the reasons for doing it is for the sustainability factor of just not eating meat. So I don't really like the battery farmed products and all this kind of stuff. I won't go into it fully, but also I learned a statistic the other day. I need to double check this actually, but I think your body during your lifetime processes about 700 tons of food. Now, I thought that's a hell of a lot of process to put on your body. No wonder that our bodies get run down after a while. And I think meat is one of the hardest things for your body to digest because it's not actually supposed to. I mean, I don't know whether this is completely true. I need to do a bit more research on this. But if you're eating things like fruit and vegetables, which are really easy to digest, then that's a lot less strain in your body. And you know what? I've genuinely felt so energetic, and I've been playing sport. It's had definitely no decrease in my performance. So I think I'm going to stick with it. It feels good, and yeah, I think it might be a bit of a life change. I definitely won't rule out ever eating meat again because I do like a steak, and if it's been ethically sourced and farmed, then and especially when I'm down in South Africa, I mean the burgers are definitely going to have my arm behind my back to try and eat some steak down there. So I won't be refusing when I'm down in South Africa. But I think it's all about finding the nice balance. Anyway, I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying trying something new, and I just thought it might be interesting to share. And as on the topic of things opening back up again, barbershops, I've let my mop. You might have seen from recent Instagram posts and things like that. I've let the mop grow quite long now, and I'm thinking I might just go mullet. Might just go full goo, full send, and just go for a mullet. So I might put a poll up on Thacker's Sunday Hangover Instagram page after this comes out, and yeah, if you want to vote on that, yes or no for the mullet, I'll show you an update of how the lid's looking now, and we could just go completely feral with it. so yeah, it could be a mullet in my future. Much to the behest of Ziggs. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week. Enjoy yourselves. I really do hope that you get the friends and family back together. You sit in the beer gardens, have a pint, get out there, be active, go to the gym, get a fresh trim, fresh fade, and you know what? I'm just feeling so positive at the moment. I think things are finally looking like they're going to go back to normal. I've seen sports events being announced. I'm seeing festivals being announced and things like that. So it's getting better. It really is. And make sure you're checking in on your mates. Stay positive. Do the things that make you happy. And I will be checking back in with you with another Thacker Sunday Hangover very soon. Have a fantastic week, everyone. And I'll see you later.